guys, Mask Monday. I normally do it sitting on my bed, but I've stripped the bed, so I normally do that on a Sunday, but I'm all behind. So I thought I'd do this Primark one that I picked up, or Primark one that I picked up the other day. It's a hydrating coconut cream mask. I don't know if it's an actual sheet mask or whether it's one of those where you put the goo on. I just run downstairs and sort lunatic Bert out. My hubby bought, oh, let's put this face mask on. My hubby bought a, it is just cream, I think. Yeah. I'm just going to squeeze it out and slather it on. Oh, it smells lovely and coconutty. Yeah, he bought, whoa, that's thick. Bought, I'm going to get my words out in a minute, aren't I? A robot vacuum cleaner. My hubby, my Nick, is as mad as a box of frogs, frankly. And he gets an idea in his head and he acts on it before. This is a lot more like a clay mask than a coconut mask. I'm going to have to read the words on this bit. Yeah, he gets an idea in his head and he acts on it without even speaking to me about whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, or I mean, this one I think is probably going to be an okay idea, but so far in the last couple of weeks, several things have turned up at the house. Look at me. At least it won't roll off, I suppose. Yeah, several things have turned up at the house that have been my husband's idea. Like, I drink little sachets of coffee when I have one. They're decaf, mind you. And they went on offer in the supermarket. And so I couldn't get them, and I happened to mention it to him, and what happened a couple of days later, delivery from Amazon of about 50 boxes of this stuff. I mean, there's no way I'm going to manage to drink all that before it goes out of date. I said to him one day that we had to get, I had to get, not he, I had to get a bit better organised with the fridge. And just remember that when plans change, to go to the fridge and to get whatever meal I had planned on us having and put it in the freezer, because I was really annoyed at myself because I'd had to throw away. It was one of these pre-packed gammon joint things that Marks do. I think it had blackberry and apple sauce or something on it. And I'd missed the window for it. And I was really annoyed with myself. I mean, I bought it on offer, but it was a few quid and, you know, waste not, want not sort of thing. And I'd said this to him. And so he went off and what did he order? He ordered a vacuum sealer kit. I did point out to him that the vacuum sealer kit is very good for meat that's open. You know, if you buy a joint or you buy chops at the butcher's or whatever. Not so good when it's, you know, it's already in a little foil thing with a lid on it and marks and I mean, you know, this is not about me not wrapping things properly. This is about me forgetting to blinking use them. But yeah, that turned up. He also bought me oh gosh, back in the summer when I was really hot all the time, you know, I was having these flushes and things, he bought me this ring thing that goes round your neck and it's a fan and you wear it around your neck and it blows up in your face. He thought this was going to be such a marvellous thing. He bought 2. I have to say, it's a reasonable breeze, but you have the problem of it sitting here and going the whole time it's on. So, no, not such a good idea. So he is one of these people. He's very sweet. I mean, he is very sweet. I've got enough on, do you think? Oh, I'm looking a bit baldy by there, aren't I? Oh, there was loads in the packet. You know, these are things that he does out of sweetness. But you do equally think, what on earth were you thinking? So, but we have this Hoover, this robot Hoover, that he set up yesterday. It's picking up a hell of a lot. Oh my God. Oh my God. The trouble is I have 2 dogs and the dog hair is insane. And it is my life's work keeping on top of the dog hair. I'm convinced one of these days the dog hair will get ahead of me and we'll end up sort of walking on a spongy floor everywhere. But for the time being, I keep trying. But yeah, he bought this robot and you can just switch it on and carry on and do other things. The only thing is the dogs are not keen. The cat did a whole sort of, Ethel did a whole, you know, that arch back thing at it. And is now on high ground. And she sits and watches it, looking down. You know how cats do that? They do that kind of down at whatever it is. Whereas the dogs are sort of following me around and watching it. And, you know, thankfully they're not going for it, because I did think they might. But they don't seem to be. As you know, we're back in lockdown. It's miserable. It really is miserable. I've got some videos. Fortunately, I'd filmed a charity one, I think a Poundland one, just before we went into lockdown, and I haven't released them yet, so I will do that at some point. But I can't believe we're back in lockdown. Well, mind you, look at what you guys are doing in America. Goodness me. I mean, I'm not saying who I would have voted for. I have a brother in America, so I get sort of blow by blow periodically from him. I go, this person, and that person, but like most Brits, we don't really understand your election process anyway. This whole separation of president from parliament kind of thing, we don't really get that. But yeah, I mean, you don't know from one day to the next who's in, who's out, what's happening. Whoa, that's terrible. But yeah, we're back in lockdown, and it looks like the figures that were presented to old Boris about how many people would die and the infection rates and all of this. I mean, to be fair to him, if I was in charge and someone had come to me and said, you know, I'm a scientific boffin and I know the best about everything, and then presented me the graph and said, if you do nothing, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of people will die, I probably would have gone, bloody hell, lockdown. But it looks like those graphs weren't true. So I'm hoping that he will say, do you know what? You've all been good. We've done this for a week or two. It's enough to cause is it a fire break they call it? Get back on with your lives. I'm sort of hoping that's what'll happen, but who knows? It's a funny mask, this one. I want to put my glasses on and read the back of the packet, but it's so thick on my face. Let me just see if I can read anything. Do you know what I'm going to have to get? I'm going to have to get one of those Sherlock Holmes magnifying glasses, but I haven't got one at the moment, so let's just see. What does it say? 15 minutes. Just says 15 minutes. It is. It's more like a clay coconut cream mask. I'm enjoying it though. For a Primark ATP hydrating coconut mask, I'm enjoying this. I haven't got to be going like this all the time. Although I do look like a candidate for Day of the Dead, don't you think? I thought something was really, really funny. I saw in the paper today that some of the American news sites or newspapers had said even the UK was celebrating the Joe Biden winning by letting off fireworks on the 5th of November. I thought that was hysterical. To anyone who's in America, that's not true. The 5th of November is Guy Fawkes night in the UK, which is a really big thing over here, big deal. And we have bonfires and we burn an effigy, and we have fireworks of an effigy of Guy Fawkes. He was a plotter who was going to blow up the Houses of Parliament back in the, oh God, who knows when. And you know, this is something we do. Bonfire night has always been a big thing over here. You guys don't have it. You have Halloween. Although we now have Halloween as well. But yeah, bonfire night was always the thing. So on the 5th of November, yes, there were lots of fireworks going off in the UK, but it was firework night. So it was nothing to do with your election, but I thought that was so, so funny and so sweet to think that we put up fireworks at the result of your election. We don't put fireworks up at the result of ours. Weather here today is gloomy. That's really the only word for it. I got up this morning, mist everywhere. You know, that hanging, wet, kind of miserly rain and mist. So you feel damp all day. It's like that. It's not really shifting. A lot of the mist has shifted, but the greyness is just absolute pants. So I've been trying to catch up on some housework, because since I've been doing YouTube, and I love YouTube, because I'm so rubbish at editing and uploading and things like that, I've lost quite a few hours in a day. You know, I can film a video that might take me, I mean, the video when it appears might be 10 minutes, but I've probably filmed 30 minutes and then spent, you know, goodness knows how long cutting it down and trying to make it make sense. And then the whole uploading it to YouTube, because I live in the country, so where we live, the Wi-Fi, the, you know, 5G, internet, all that nonsense, again, you see I'm showing how intelligent I am, is rubbish. It is absolute rubbish. Lots of mobile phones don't get reception where I live, you know, so it can be really, really difficult. So I've fallen behind on a few bits and pieces, so I'm trying to catch up today. I won't get it all done, but I sat down this morning, I got up this morning and I thought, right, before I do anything else, get myself a cuppa, get myself my big thing of water and my vitamins. I haven't taken all my vitamins now I think on it, I've taken some of them. And write down a quick to-do list. And I list everything from, you know, I put loos, you know, if I think the loos need a good scrub, an extra scrub, not just a quick swish, all the way through to sort of some quite, you know, like plan out the ingredient list for some of the recipes that I'm going to do over Christmas. So it can be from sort of, you know, 5-10 minute do it now jobs to things that are going to be, and my to-do list never ends. I score things off, but then more things are added on the bottom and it just keeps going and keeps going. But I sat and did it thinking, oh, this is itchy on my nose. I wasn't thinking, oh, this is itchy on my nose, but that is itching my nose. Yeah, I sat down thinking I might have sort of half a dozen things, and once I got going, gosh, it's appalling. It is appalling. Mimi's cough is doing better, although you might not know about her cough because I haven't put that video up yet. I was going to put it up today, but it's going up tomorrow now. It's my Look Fantastic one. And she's coughing in the video, but it is better now. She's always had a bit of a cough. When I say she's always had, I don't mean she coughs every day, but I think she just has a weak chest, I think. And periodically, she'll start this coughing and then we have to go and get a particular, I think it's a steroid-based something or other. Can you have an asthmatic dog? I think that's what it is anyway. And she has a few doses of this and then it clears up and she's fine again. But when she's doing it, she coughs like, well, you know, like she's going to bring her tummy up. And sometimes she does. Ooh. Bert is fine. The kids had a good weekend. Yeah, they were up to all sorts and filthy dirty. I've just ordered this morning 2 little school coats for them because they're really nice coats that their mum bought from Next. Almost every day we're having to wash them at night so that they're clean enough for school the next day. So I've just ordered some really simple, where did I order them from in the end? I think it was Asda, I think. 2 cute little that can be cleaned. They don't go out to play in them. They don't go to help with the horses in them. They are for school coats. And then the really good ones from Next, the ones that are, I think they're probably thicker and all of that sort of thing they can wear around here. But honestly, they come in and they're mud. They're sort of mud from about here down. Their clothes are soaking because they have a whale of a time. They're country kids. And you pick them up. I mean, Levi came back yesterday and he was feeling pretty tired. I mean, he's still only 3. He's a little boy, little baba still. And he sort of was feeling a bit emosh. So, I went and, you know, went out to see him and he said, pick me up, you know, in the way that they do. And I picked him up and he was soaking. I don't know how he could stand it. If I got wet like that outside for any length of time, I'd have to go in and change, but these kids don't. And then they get proper cold. I was looking after Lara. Lara wasn't out there. She'd gone out with them in the morning, but when they went out again in the afternoon, evening, it was sort of decided amongst us that she's a little bit young. And she does get fed up when there's proper work going on, and there was proper work going on. Have you noticed where I've put that? You know, I've got a terrible neck. I'd love to have my neck done. Can you see that? Oh, wouldn't that look good? I'd love to have that. I've never had a particularly good neck. It runs in the family. But where I've put some of that cream down, it's even more obvious that it's jiffling up and down. Oh God, I'm talking shite today. So I cleaned the porch today. I've got washing on and more washing out. Cleaned the kitchen, did the dishwashers, gave them their clean of the week. I've got quite a bit to do up here. Up here's, I keep saying about this, next door, the room next door to this one, which is only a little room, I did it as a nursery for the kids, because when, let's see now, when Milo would have been 14 months, I think, when his brother was born, they were living with us, actually living in this house. So that had a cot in it and everything for Milo, my beautiful Milo boy, who's so huge now. And it's been used occasionally, but now they're stopping, you know, they've got Lara. They're not going to have any more, so I don't really need a cot in there anymore. So I'm planning on selling it, but I don't really know how, and I get all embarrassed about it. And then I say to people, do you know anyone who, you know, is having a baby and a little bit hard up and could do with a really nice cot and a changing table? And then they don't know anyone. And you know, the minute I get rid of it or sell it or whatever, someone is going to say to me, you know, oh, my granddaughter, and they haven't got, you know, they haven't got any money, and it's lovely and it's white and it's, you know, anyway. So I'm gonna have to try and sell that, and then I can sort that room out, because that room has become the dumping ground. It's where all the 5 on Friday stuff goes. And I'm gonna do eBay. I'm gonna do it, guys. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna list some stuff and see what happens. But it's become a complete dumping ground in there. And it's also where the loft hatch access is. So my daughter, who, you know, lives in a house just across the way, just there, they have no loft space. We built up into the loft space to create their house. So she uses my loft, which is really big, and boarded out and all of that sort of thing. But what she quite often does is she'll say to her hubby, Tom, pop this into mum's, I'll put it up in the loft later. So what happens is bags of baby clothes or toys they've grown out of, or whatever the thing happens to be, comes in up the stairs and into that room, but it never actually then goes up into the loft. And I go in there sometimes and I think, oh my goodness me. So I've got to get on with that. I think I'm going to sort of try and percolate some ideas, get some ideas going, see if there's somewhere. I might actually just donate the cot and changing table. Maybe there's a women's refuge or something that would want them. I shall do some investigation. And then in this, no, I was going to say the spring, it's not the spring. You know that rotten, horrible bit between the New Year's and sort of spring coming, that sort of, I have a little project going on, which will be to make that room nice. Because every time I walk past the door, I think, oh gosh, it's so awful. Let me think, what else is there? I forgot to bring my list of questions in, and people had questions, and I've forgotten to bring it with me. Oh, look. Can you see the lines? I move my face up and down so much. And I'm hot. I'm having a flush as we're talking, and the sweat is making it go back to goo. Where this is as dry as a bone, the sweat on the forehead and the upper lip and that is making it go back to goo. Oh, don't you love being a lady of a certain age? My Nick is working regardless anyway, but he did through the lockdown too. He's not in a position where he could just stay home. I kept saying to him, he's like, no darling, I'm trying to keep the business going so that all these poor people that have been furloughed, I've got a job to come back to. I need to work. And I was like, okay, fair point. But it was a bit, yeah, there were moments, you know, when that weather was lovely and people were whinging, but they were having picnics in their garden, and I was thinking, I was still all on my bloody own, but I can't, well, not on my own, because oh, I said bloody again. Oh, I don't know what the rules are on YouTube about things like that, but apologies. I mean, I have family, you know, I have my mother and I have my daughter, but we were all like grass widows because her husband, being in the automotive, had to keep going. All the emergency vehicles and things like that still needed, and nurses, and you know, you need to be able to use your cars. So he was still working, my husband was still working. We were like, okay, how did this happen? Everyone else is whinging because their husbands are home. We would quite like our husbands to be home. It's beautifully sunny and we can't go anywhere. So we can't sort of fill our lives with the things that we would normally do. We're just hanging around here. I mean, it happens to be nice here, But yeah, when friends of ours were like, oh my goodness, my husband home, it's driving me mad, we were like, okay, we'd like a chance to, yeah, feel that way. You know, we quite like a chance to be like, go to work. So yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go and wash this up, guys, for 80p. I will be buying that again. Now I'm just going to use some of this. It's called Omoravikaza from Budapest, Queen of Hungary mist. I don't know if that's actually, can you see that? I don't know where I got it from, but I really like it to moisten the face up a little bit. I mean, it was a hydrating mask, admittedly, but as you can see, I use loads. I love a good mist. And then I'm just going to put a bit of moisturiser on top. And I think I will probably, I think I'll probably stick with my goat milk one, which is my favourite at the moment. And I'm trying to sort of use one up before I start another, even though can't always do that, can you? But I like to put it on when my face is moist from the mist. But I really enjoyed that. 80p, that was really good. Which reminds me, various of you, would you please email me your addresses, contact addresses? You know who you are. Those of you who are special, because I'd like to send cards and I'd like to know things like that. So anybody who watches regularly and has become a friend and so on, you know what my email address is. Because yeah, I got that writing paper and I get cards and I'd like to be able to send some, and we're coming up to Christmas, so I definitely want to send some. So yeah, if you want a Christmas card from me, you have to write your address. My address is on my About page. I finally did that, so anybody that wants to contact me, that's where I am. It's oh no, it's on the contact page. Rise Lane. It's Rise Lane, the hot building, Rise Lane. So how can you blank on something like that? I mean, honestly. So yes, no, I want addresses. So people, please, if you trust me as I trust you, and you know, if you want to do a PO box, if you want to send it to, I don't know, your Auntie Mabel's because you don't want me to have your actual home address, that's fine by me. But Christmas cards are coming up and I really want to be able to send them. So that's me for the day. I don't know how I'm going to edit this down. I think I've waffled for about 40 minutes and I'm going to have to cut that down to somewhere around 10. I might not manage it. It might be a 20-minute one and just log off when you've had enough. I should say that at the beginning, shouldn't I? Hello, I'm Fawn. Before I do my face mask, this may be a long waffle. So yeah, if you're not up for it, don't worry, log off. Anyway, I hope you're all okay, guys. And I'll be back tomorrow and the day after and the day after and the day after. So, okay, bye.